weird ass request. What is the most interesting thing somebody ever asked you to do on a first date?
Kirk Frost, Rasheeda's husband, before they were married, when I first met him, he wrote his name and number on 20 $100 bills and begged me to call him. Not begged me, but he asked me to call him.
So he pretty much gave you $2,000 to call him.
Yeah. What? And I wrote his name and number on the front and back of each one.
Oh.
I got a Lincoln Navigator. I got quite a few things.
From him? From him? Oh. All on the first date?
Not the first date. Maybe throughout the course of a little while.
So how fast did you call him?
The next day.
I know you did.
I
call that night?
No, I didn't want to seem desperate, but I did call the next day.
I'd have been in the Uber. I'm on the way.
Okay.
There is some shocking things I'm about to tell you about Rasheeda. You know her, right? That perfect, devoted wife who's been standing by Kirk through thick and thin? Well, honey, let me tell you, everything we thought we knew about their picture-perfect marriage just got turned upside down. For years, and I mean years, we've all watched Rasheeda play the role of the perfect, supportive wife. She was always there, smiling for the cameras, defending Kirk against every single rumor. But now we're all wondering if we've been played like a fiddle. The bombshell that just dropped has everyone asking the same burning question. Was our girl Rasheeda really as clueless as she claims? I mean, seriously, was she truly blindsided by the man she's been sharing her bed with, or did she purposely look the other way? Because let me tell you, darling, there's a mighty fine line between being an innocent victim and being someone who chose to ignore the obvious. And let's talk about how this whole mess is unfolding. As more details emerge about Kirk's alleged behavior, it's like watching a train wreck in slow motion. The story about the supposed pregnancy? It's still as clear as mud, but I can tell you one thing for certain. This scandal has ripped their family apart like a tornado through a paper house. Trust? Ha! That precious trust they built over decades of marriage? Shattered, destroyed, absolutely demolished. And between you and me, I don't think there's enough super glue in the world to put those pieces back together. The whole world is literally sitting on the edge of their seats, waiting to see what Rasheeda's next move will be. Can you imagine being in her shoes right now? After defending him through scandal after scandal, rumor after rumor, this is the bomb that finally dropped on her doorstep. Talk about a bitter pill to swallow. Now she's got to make the hardest decision of her life. Does she confront Kirk about what really happened? Or does she keep protecting the father of her children? Because let's be real, that's what she's been doing all along, isn't it? And don't even get me started on how this situation is spiraling out of control. The tabloids are having an absolute field day. And social media? It's like a feeding frenzy. You've got people dragging Rasheeda through the mud, suggesting she knew everything all along and helped cover it up. Then you've got others crying rivers for her, convinced she's just another victim who got played by both her husband and, get this, her own stepdaughter. This scandal? It's not just a bump in the road. It's the kind of catastrophe that's destroying everything Kirk has ever worked for. The fans of love and hip-hop are feeling personally betrayed, and honestly, can you blame them? They've invested years following Rasheeda and Kirk's journey, rooting for them, believing in their love story. Now it turns out their perfect little reality TV romance might have been nothing but smoke and mirrors.
Married man, right?
Of course.
What would you be doing for me if you knew
Don't try
that?
to flip the script right
I'm
now.
asking you a question.
What would you be doing me as a married man?
I see you had some drinks, huh?
Hey, look, man.
This is a man that was at the hospital when our son was born. He's been giving me money to help support our child. But yet here he is in front of his friends acting as if he has no idea who I am. I don't know whether to laugh or cry.
I was gonna do the masquerade thing. I'm not here to be blamed for I'm out of here.
I already knew you was going to.
Yo, wow,
Let me tell you what happened next, and trust me, you might want to sit down for this. I heard it straight from the source. Rasheeda finally broke her silence, and honey, she did not hold back. With tears in her eyes but steel in her voice, she dropped this bomb. Kirk did something that I could never forgive. And the way she said it? Chills, absolute chills. What he did was more than I could have ever imagined, and it was a betrayal not just of me, but also of his own family and others who trusted him. Everyone who heard those words couldn't help but wonder, how could something this horrific happen in what seemed like such a perfect family? The answers? They're buried deeper than your grandmother's secret recipe, hidden under layers of shame and absolute dread. But hold on to your hat because it gets even juicier. Kirk's ex-wife, Yes, that ex-wife. She's not keeping quiet anymore. She's out there telling anyone who'll listen that Rasheeda knew about everything all along. Can you believe it? She's basically saying that our girl Rasheeda wasn't just an innocent bystander. She was in on it. You know what they say? The truth always finds its way to the light, and baby, this truth is blinding. Nobody, and I mean nobody, was ready for this kind of revelation. Finding out that Rasheeda might have known about Kirk's behavior, that's just as shocking as the original scandal itself. And here's the real tea. Rasheeda actually admitted something that made my jaw hit the floor. She confessed that while Kirk's ex might not have spilled all the beans, she had this gut feeling that something wasn't right. But get this, and this is the part that's really going to make your head spin. Despite all the evidence piling up, despite every red flag waving in her face, despite knowing deep down what Kirk had done, she chose to stay. That's right, you heard me correctly. She made the conscious decision to protect him, to be his human shield against all the fallout. Can you imagine standing by your man even after something like this? The loyalty, the dedication, or maybe the delusion. Whatever it is, one thing's for certain. This story is far from over, and honey, I'll be right here to spill every single drop of tea as it comes out. The way this whole situation has unfolded feels like something straight out of a soap opera, but let me tell you, it's all painfully real. Every tearful confession, every shocking revelation, every betrayal. It's like watching a house of cards collapse in slow motion, and nobody can look away. And the questions? Oh, the questions that keep everyone up at night. What could have driven Kirk to such depths of betrayal? Was it really just a moment of weakness, or is there something even darker lurking beneath the surface? Something that's been festering for years, just waiting to explode? Kirk's ex-wife might have fired the first shot with her shocking revelations, but honey, this war is far from over. There are still so many layers to this story, so many secrets waiting to be exposed, so many truths that could shatter what little piece this family has left. The stage is set for what could be the most dramatic unraveling we've ever witnessed. Rasheeda, Kirk, their families, they're all under the microscope now, and every single move they make is being watched, analyzed, and picked apart by millions of eager eyes. Unless Kirk steps up and finally tells the whole truth, and I mean the whole truth, this situation is only going to get heavier and messier. The choices facing this family now, they're the kind that keep you awake at night, staring at the ceiling, wondering how it all went so wrong. Will the Frost family manage to weather this storm? Or will they end up like so many others before them, crushed under the weight of secrets too terrible to bear? Only time will tell, but one thing's for certain. The whole world will be watching, waiting, and whispering about every single twist and turn in this absolutely shocking saga. And between you and me, I've got a feeling we haven't even scratched the surface of what's really going on behind those closed doors. This story has more layers than a wedding cake, and each one seems more scandalous than the last. Keep your eyes peeled and your ears open, because something tells me the biggest bombshells are still to come. The way this drama is unfolding, it's like watching a classic tragedy play out in real time. But instead of ancient Greek theaters, we've got social media, reality TV, and 24/7 news coverage documenting every single tear, every heated argument, and every shocking revelation. The court of public opinion is in session, and let me tell you, they are not holding back. What makes this whole situation even more fascinating is how it's forcing everyone to question everything they thought they knew about love, loyalty, and family. Here we have Rasheeda, who's been the poster child for standing by your man through thick and thin, now facing the ultimate test of her devotion. And Kirk, the man who built his image on being a family man, well, that image isn't just cracking, it's completely shattered. But you know what they say. Sometimes you have to hit rock bottom before you can rebuild. The question is, will there be anything left to rebuild once all the dust settles? Only time will tell, but you better believe I'll be here to keep you updated on every single development in this absolutely mind-blowing saga.